Hi, Surachet. Very nice to see you and to meet you again.
Hi, Arno. Good to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Well, my pleasure, our pleasure. On behalf of Kingsley Gate, I welcome you to our Global Asian Leaders Program.
Thank you.
Great. So I'd love to have a quick exchange and a few questions to get to know you a little bit. And maybe to get started, I would love to hear about you. Tell us about who's Surachet.
Thanks. I'm actually leading a global life science business for a company called Ecolab based in Minnesota in the US. Been in the B2B industry for over 20 years, and I work in oil and gas, management consulting, public sector, but also chemicals industry as well. So a little bit of everything across the past 20 years.
Great. Thank you very much. Fantastic. So you obviously have had a very global background. How old were you when you first moved abroad? Abroad from Thailand, I believe.
Actually, I'm born overseas. So I was born in Hong Kong and then moved to Thailand. So you can say that I'm actually overseas since birth. I moved to Thailand since I was 6 years old. And after that, I continued to move in different places around the globe, including Singapore, Thailand, Hong Kong, US, Vietnam, and China.
Wow, that is quite a global experience. Which countries have you lived and worked the longest in your career?
I would say right now it's Singapore. I've been in Singapore like 3 times, but I think US is going to catch up pretty quickly as well. But all of them have great experiences, and it taught me a lot about the culture and the people.
Fantastic. So I'm very curious about with your global experience, how many languages you speak, casually or professionally?
I do speak three, Thai and English, and also Cantonese. Although I won't trust myself in doing any kind of business presentation in Cantonese. It's more conversation. I can ask for directions and order food. That's pretty much it.
Well, that's important. So fantastic. Tell us a bit about your family. Where did you meet your spouse? Where's your spouse from, and where did you meet her?
Yeah, I meet my wife at university. Actually, the funny story was that our mutual friend was trying to introduce me to another person, but I met my wife first. So shall we say the rest is history.
Okay. And where is your wife from? Is she from Thailand as well, or Hong Kong, or where's she from?
She's actually from Thailand, and she's always been living in country. So since she married me, we've been moving and relocating into all these different countries. So she's now pretty much an expert in packing and unpacking across the different years that we've been together.
That's a good skill to have, and you should make sure that somebody does it who hopefully is not you.
I'm not so sure she prefers to have that skill, but she definitely is great at that now.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So I'm very curious, having lived in so many countries, and where is home for you? Number one, and number two, if you want to get a taste from home and go for food that you really crave, what food did you go for?
So home for us is Thailand, and I speak for me and my wife as well. And when we have a crave, I mean, it's really about something spicy, right? Thai food is always about the spiciness, but also the balance. It's kind of hard to get that here in Minnesota. There are some Thai food, but let's just put it that way that it's pretty much something that we enjoy to eat out, to just reminiscent of home, but it will never replace home. So it's all about spicy food.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, one last question. I'm very curious. Window or aisle?
It's always aisle for me, and it's really about being first to get out of the plane. I mean, I don't really like to sit on the plane for a long time, and I tend to use the restroom quite often. So being aisle is very convenient for me. That's kind of my choice. And one thing I avoid for at all costs is being in the middle seat.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Spoken like a true global traveler with a lot of experience in that front. Okay, so Rachet, one longer question or more complicated question for you, perhaps. You have such a diverse background. When you think of diversity in a professional environment, what does that look like for you? How do you think about diversity at work?
So for me, diversity at work, it really anchors around two key areas. The first one is to create a diverse team, and the other one is to remove what I call the unconscious bias. And creating a diverse team starts with the principle of ensuring that I have the most diverse candidate pool. I mean, Arnold, you know how important that is in terms of selection. So I want to make sure I've got a great mix of gender, generation, and geography and experience, right? Obviously, there is a need to balance comprehensiveness with speed, but often the result is worth the wait. And you and I know if we have the wrong hire, we actually end up spending a lot more time and a lot more effort. So once we have a diverse team, it often comes with diverse perspective, but you don't always get that perspective unless we understand and we encourage people to speak up. And this requires the team to know each other's background, preferences, and style, and make sure that we continue to encourage people to voice out. So that's what I look for, or in my definition of diversity in professional environment.
Okay, fantastic. No further question. That was an amazing answer.